Hey everybody, I'm Zaf Zan.
Hi, I'm Sondra Firestein, and we're your hosts today on Creative Chat Cafe.
Hey folks, I think it's time for us to take some time out and hang out with this business talk show Hangouts. And if you're new to the show, we're all about getting you guidance, inspiration, and results to help you soar in a business and life that pays it forward. And if you're wondering what our hashtag is, yes, our show has a hashtag. It's hashtag Creative Chat Cafe, and it's hashtag CCC time, the number 2, and Hangout. So, Sondra, what's on our show today?
Yeah, this is a really exciting episode. Today we have Brittney in today to talk about simple, healthy living in a fast-paced world. And this is part 2 of our 2-part series for February. And, well, Brittney, I wanted to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. I know that you're a healthy living expert and a mompreneur. Tell us about you.
Awesome. Well, thanks, ladies. I'm excited to be on the show again. Zeph and I had the opportunity to shoot some episodes, I think, last year, right?
Right.
So time flies, but I'm happy to be back. So, yeah, a little bit about me. I'm an author, and I'm a mom of 2 young girls, and I specialize in assisting people to transform their lives in all areas, their health, their mindset, their financial abundance, just really tuning in and being able to simplify their life in ways that are going to take their overall health, which is not always just one area, to the next level. So that's a little bit about me.
Awesome.
Welcome back to the show. Woohoo!
Brittney, can you share a little bit about your story and what your passions are?
Absolutely. Well, I've been studying health and nutrition for over half my life. I actually was raised really super healthy and a very holistic environment, and then in my teens I got into really some negative bad behaviors. I was addicted to drugs and alcohol, and I was just on a really bad path. And so I made the decision at 16 to get myself clean and sober, and I kind of made a pact with myself and my God that I would spend the rest of my life, you know, using my God-given talents to help the world, you know, transform themselves. And we need it so badly right now in this world. We're just bombarded with health issues, not just physically but mentally, and we live in a very toxic society. So it's my privilege and honor to be in this work. I think it's very, very important work. So that's kind of a little bit about my heart and my background, but I love it. I think about health and being health conscious, you know, from the minute I fall asleep to the moment I wake up in the morning. So.
Awesome. You know what, Brittney, I must thank you first of all for coming back second time on the show. And second of all, I must say, third of all, I must say, I want to congratulate you for even sharing that story, because for some people it may be a little bit taboo and they don't really share that story. And I love that people like you share your story, because it is important for us to share our story. Even like me, my journey with cancer, people keep asking me, why do you share your story? You're very open about it. And I said, you know what, why not? Because maybe somebody, you know, could see and experience my journey. It could probably be an inspiration for many, and I believe by us sharing our story, we might just inspire some of the people out there. Am I right, Brittney?
Absolutely, and you know, sometimes it is really scary to share our personal journeys, but I believe that when we share our personal truths with the world, we give other people permission to also share their truths. And you know, everybody's had their challenges, and nobody's perfect. We're all here on this planet to learn and grow and change. And so I'm not embarrassed about what I experienced as a child at all. I think it's actually helped me become a stronger person. It's helped me help, you know, thousands of people all over the world. And the bottom line is that, you know, everybody has their addictions. Everybody has their health challenges, their stories that they don't necessarily want the world to know, but it's also very liberating. So yeah, I think that that's an important thing to bring up is don't be shy of your challenges and the things that you're going through. Be proud of that you've overcome that and use that as fuel to help others change their lives.
I also think it's really common for us to kind of dive into our ego and feel like we're alone in our problem, and that no one, you know, we understand that people have similar issues, but oh, it's me, I'm going through the struggle. And what I have found is that when you're open about your challenges, you realize you are not alone. You are never, ever, ever alone. That there are probably thousands of people that are sharing your exact experience in that very moment. And if you can voice that, it does create that opportunity to create that dialogue about it. And then all of a sudden, your problems don't seem as big because you're not as isolated.
That's so true. And the fact that, people, I think, always are looking for other people for inspiration, guidance, just like what we're doing on the show, And I think, when we share our story, it opens another realm. People realize we're just human beings. We're not that perfect picture of somebody, a business person or a business expert. We go through life pretty much. We have our own challenges. We have the same other challenges that the ordinary people out there, other business folks out there. So it makes us human, So it makes me, I think, a little bit more relatable to other people. Just like sharing my cancer journey, and I feel that people needed to see that, because they know I'm just human at the end of the day. So, Brittney. Go ahead, Sondra.
Well, it's just really hard to connect with people if you're, I like to say, like, especially in the networking world and the business world, people are peacocking. They're strutting around like, oh, I'm so amazing, oh, I'm perfect. And it's kind of impossible to form an authentic relationship with people when there's no humility, when there's no authenticity showing, look, these are where my weaknesses are. Because that's how we work together, is we fill each other's gaps and holes and provide that support through that authenticity.
Very true, very true. Brittney, when you came on the first time, we talked a little bit more about leadership, but I saw your passion as a health coach, and this is something that you practice on a day-to-day basis, and you're kind of paying it forward to other people who want to have healthy lifestyles these days. And as busy people, business folks, I know I need that on a day-to-day basis, because I'm always on the go. I'm like the Energizer Bunny. Sometimes I forget my breakfast, and it takes time to really create that healthy lifestyle. So what does it mean to live healthfully yet simply to you? How can we make this simple, Brittney?
It's a great question, Seth. Well, what I teach everyone that I talk to on a daily basis about health is it all starts right here, right? It all starts with our mindset and being mindful of what's important to us. And so if our health's not important to us, then that's one thing, and we're going to suffer that consequence at some point in our life. But I believe that that most people, 99.9% of people, probably care about their health and how they feel on a daily basis on some level. And so mindful of that and choosing that as a priority, just like I like to simplify health. So just like we wake up in the morning and we brush our teeth and we put gasoline in our gas tank and we, do our laundry and clean our houses, these are all necessities so that we can survive, right, in our environment, and we can get to where we want to go. So our bodies and our health are no different. They require maintenance, they require care, they require love, and they require a system so that they can function properly for us. So it really starts with a choice of just waking up every day and saying, you know what, today I choose to be healthy, and I'm going to do whatever I can, even if it's the smallest little thing, to move myself towards feeling healthier in my body.
Absolutely. So did you ever reach a point, Brittney, where you just knew you were out of whack? I mean, that your system was out of whack, and do you have any suggestions on how we can kind of identify when we've reached that point?
Yeah, it's a great question. Well, first of all, like we were talking about just being human, and authentic. I have days like that all the time, you guys. I'm a mom. I have a 6.5-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. So there's nights that I don't sleep. There's nights that, I'm stressed out with the amount of things I have on my plate. But again, I make that recommitment to myself every morning when my eyes open. What are the things that I'm going to do today that's going to help me stay on track? Because here's the thing, at the end of the day, if you don't feel good in your body, and your mind, and your spirit, you're not going to function well in your life. And I think we all know that. So it's just about tuning in. And so to answer your question, Sondra, what do I do is I sit quietly by myself in the morning before my kids get up. I set my alarm like 10, 15 minutes earlier, even if I don't want to. And I meditate, I do some breathing, and I always check in and I'll ask my body, body, what do you need from me right now? So for some people that might sound maybe a little bit woo-woo or, out there, but here's the thing, your body is always talking to you. So it might talk to you in the form of disease, illness, it might talk to you in the form of stress, headaches, anxiety, as I was going like this, anxiety, your body is always communicating with you. It's a choice to listen to it. And so what I teach people is use that we all have power and intuition that's universal in all human beings. We all have it, and it's just about tuning into that frequency and going, okay, well, today I'm going to drink more water, right? Or today I'm not going to skip my breakfast even though I'm busy, right? That like
I know how that is. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot.
So that's basically what I do is I always just check in with myself and I make a schedule. You know, I make sure that I set the appointment with myself, because appointments with ourselves are more important than appointments with anybody else. And so I just keep that commitment, and it helps me stay on track personally with my goals when I might feel like, I'm getting a little bit crazy here.
Awesome. I mean, do you have a way, what's your system for knowing when you're out of whack? Like, do you feel that in a certain part of your body, or do you just notice that kind of in your mind you're starting to feel a little bit frantic?
For me personally, I think this is different for everybody, but for me personally, my skin will usually act up. Like I'll usually get some blemishes, or I'll just notice that my skin doesn't feel, I mean, the skin's the largest organ in your body, right? So it's constantly processing out what we're exposed to, and it's constantly giving us signals about what we need. If we're really, dry skin, we're probably dehydrated. So I always kind of look at my skin if I get up in the morning and I'm like, oh gosh, what happened there? Then I know to kind of, okay, it's time to do some detoxification. I need to do a cleansing day, which I do a lot of those, or I need to make sure I'm sleeping more, or whatever that is that's kind of for me. But everybody's different.
Yeah.
I like what you just said just now, and when you said sometimes we forget. Our body is telling us something, but we forget it because we're moving in such speed, fast people, and we're thinking, oh my God, I forgot to drink water, and that's why I took a sip of water. Because I like, oh my God, I really feel parched. I'm like, oh, my body is telling me something, and I really can relate to that. That's when you're kind of connected with your body. Your body will tell you something, and that's how I noticed my body was telling me that I had a disease, which when I had the cancer, because you can tell, even though the symptoms are not there, like visually, you can feel it. So paying attention to our bodies is one key thing these days. So I'm learning how to do that better. And Brittney, you're so right about getting up a little bit early and just to kind of get your body, listen to it, give it a little bit of time, because I've heard this from someone that I know, that this gentleman actually wakes up a couple hours earlier just to make sure his body calms down, that it's not rushing, that he doesn't feel stressed from all the hustle bustle in the morning, and he takes time, he schedules that out, wake up early so that he can actually calm down, not just wake up at the sound of the alarm and just buzz, buzz, buzz and go, go, go. So I think that many of us lead that type of lifestyles, and sometimes it's so hard for us to anchor ourselves down, and we just have to learn how to do it. And so my question to you, if you have any suggestions, simple suggestions that we all can practice on a day-to-day basis just to kind of develop this healthier lifestyle, what would that be, Brittney?
Absolutely. So this show is primarily for entrepreneurs, right? So people that watch this show are people that are business owners, and entrepreneurs are highly creative. We're highly busy, right? And we typically do more than one thing. And so I always equate our health to our businesses. So think about if you're a brand new entrepreneur and you're just starting your business, or maybe you're a seasoned entrepreneur and you've been working for yourself for a long time. You have a structure that you're following every single day. If you didn't, what would happen to your business? It would flatline. It would completely fall apart. And our bodies and our health are no different. They require systems, and they require simple steps. So just like you have a task sheet in the morning when you get up of how you run your business, or you need to answer emails or phone calls or create this or create that, or whatever it looks like for your individual business center that you're running, think of your body the same way. So what I like to do is check in with my schedule the night before and look at my appointments, look at what I have going on for the day in terms of my business, and go, okay, where am I taking care of me? at that time? You know, do I have time to go to the gym in the morning? Okay, is there something that I can let go of so that I can make that time to fit in? If I know I have a 8:30 a.m. meeting, what time am I getting up so that I know I have at least, you know, 15 minutes to get breakfast in my body before I'm out the door? And Zach, you said something a moment ago that I want to touch on that's a really big deal for people. The average American is starting their day
way too early.
but they're starting it immediately in stress, fight, or flight. That alarm goes off.
Yeah.
Buzzing goes off. They're jumping out of bed. They're skipping breakfast. They're grabbing cups of coffee, which makes your cortisol levels go up in your body. So your body all day is functioning in a state of panic, fight or flight, and stress.
Wow.
And so that is huge. And we know that 99% of all disease and illnesses, the number one common factor is what?
Stress.
So we're starting our day in a state of panic. So if you know that that's an issue for you, do your due diligence the night before. Look at your schedule. Figure out, do I need to go to bed a half an hour earlier, and, you know, turn the TV off, or not scroll through Facebook a million times to see what people are posting, or whatever the stuff that we do that is time consuming. We can remove that, and we can place it with a structure and simple things that can transform your life in all areas.
That's so awesome. That's so true. And in fact, you know, like I said, doing this healthy lifestyle, it takes little baby steps, little steps at a time, and expect a lifestyle change and not an overnight change. And I think for many of us, we think that we get on a diet is like, okay, next week I'll lose 10 pounds, or next week I'll stop smoking, and they think that it's an overnight thing, and it's just a process. Everything is a journey. Everything is a step-by-step process, little baby steps. And you're absolutely right. You know, we are getting earlier in the day and starting to go as busy people. We just need to find a way to anchor ourselves and, you know, find a system, a better process so that we don't get stressed out. One of the things I know with me, I've been recently practicing is that because I'm being more aware of what I put in my mouth, what I consume, so I'm becoming more aware of things that I buy from the store. So my process and my suggestions to some of you folks out there, maybe you can relate with me with what I'm saying here, is my decision-making process starts at the grocery store. You know, I don't really wait till I get home and go like, oh, I shouldn't have bought that. You know, how did it make it that grocery bag and into the car with me? I decide from the grocery store, and therefore I'm picking my choices, deciding on what to buy. Oh, this is not good. This is a better choice, and all that stuff at the grocery store. So if it doesn't make into my grocery bag and into the car, therefore I don't consume it. I feel it's easier for me. Maybe some of you folks can relate to that, because sometimes it also takes willpower, right? When you see chocolate, you go, ooh, chocolate. But you know, you just have to figure out what process works for you, each and every one of you. For me, it worked with just decide at the grocery store you're not going to buy it. Avoid some aisles, right? And just go to certain areas of the supermarket or the grocery store and just pick your choices there. And then bottom line is, if you can't read the ingredients, just don't buy it. Because one of the things that is a little bit easier for me, because being Asian, we cook everything natural in its natural state, so it makes it so much easier for me to buy stuff like in its natural form instead of just tearing a bag or, you know, opening a can or a box. I feel that it's a little bit unnatural, although you have organics and stuff like that. It just feels unnatural. So I practice that, and, you know, maybe some of you folks out there probably coming in from, you know, Italian families, you do the same. But that's just one of the simple things that I have to be mindful of. Like you said, Brittney, be mindful of what we do, you know. So that's some of the little tips that I've been practicing just to keep myself in check, just to make sure that I'm practicing those little baby steps, and eventually it becomes a habit and a lifestyle, practice. So little baby steps like that, you know, it does help. You may not think it's a big you may not think it will affect our lifestyle in a big way, but I promise you it will, because it's all those little things that become habit. Because you and I know, as business people, busy people, all those little things become habits. So this is what I do. Little baby steps that become healthier habits. What about you, Sondra?
Yeah, so one thing is my mornings are very important to me, and so Brittney, what you are
breakfast
saying,
girl.
Yeah, I am the breakfast girl. I love breakfast. I love breakfast any time of day, really, but I particularly love breakfast in the morning, and it's part of my process. I mean, if I don't have my breakfast in the morning, if I don't have time to sit and eat at the table, I'm hungry all day.
Right.
If I'm running out the door with a pastry or a Kind bar or whatever, like I end up hungry all day, especially if I don't eat anything. And so even if I try to, eat like a massive sandwich at lunch, it carries with me all day. It's also just part of my I need a slow morning. Not too slow, but just time to just, decide what I want to wear, decide what I want to eat, check my email, just kind of this lazy morning. I don't do well if I'm just dashing out the door. But really, the biggest thing that contributes to all of that is the amount of sleep that I got the night before. So if I'm under-rested, if I'm sleepy, I'm hungry because I'm looking for that energy throughout my day. I am actually seeking fuel. My body is telling me that I'm low on energy, so it says eat, eat, eat. And that's hard, even though I'm mindful of the fact that this is the reason that I'm eating. If I'm sitting there and I'm sluggish and coffee isn't helping, the next thing I'm going to do is just go for fuel. But I do want to add a point, because we had talked about, it's just these tiny changes allow you to fit more into your day, or, you can find the right, you can try to manage your time really well. There's a lot of times where we actually just have too much on our plates that can't necessarily be handled by us. So I'm a huge advocate for outsourcing parts of your to-do list, letting other people take care of the little stuff. If you know that you're so busy and trying to run to the grocery store and your commute home is just going to take an hour out of your night's sleep, which is ultimately more important, you have to figure out what that time is worth and what that energy is worth. Because really, I mean, you can find someone to go and do that for you. And that's exactly what my business is about, because I understand that, stuff just has to get done, and it's all time consuming. So you have to figure out what needs to be done by you. Is it really advantageous to go spend that hour in the grocery store, or should you spend it in a park maybe, just sitting on a bench, breathing? Like, what is a better use of your time? And only you can know that. But I really do want to plug that, it's okay to delegate tasks to other people if it's for your own well-being. So that's part of my process.
That's so funny what you say about delegating, because I think that's one of the biggest challenges that we business folks have, is trying to figure out what to delegate,
Right.
And sometimes we're delegating the wrong thing, and we're delegating the most important thing to other people when we should be doing the most important thing, and the least important ones, like you said, going to the store, and all that stuff, can be delegated. Exactly, mowing the lawn, those are the things that we can delegate, and we need to focus on other important stuff. So you make a great point there, Sondra, and we're almost at the end of the time, so I just want to make sure that I thank everybody for that information. Woohoo! It's always, the time feels so short when you're having fun, because this is a lot of information, and I love how we've gotten all our information shared here, because this is a great topic, being mindful about just being healthy and simple little baby steps that can get you there. It's a lifestyle change, it's a process, it's not an overnight thing. So you just have to be patient, be mindful about it. So before we go, let's just have everybody share their information. Sondra, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. So my website is pursuitofseattle.com. I mentioned my company just a moment ago, but it's part-time personal assistance on a membership basis in a way. It's a personal concierge business, and the entire idea behind it is to allow people to free up their energy to do things that make their heart happy, because we all have things that we'd rather be doing. It might be building your business. It might be spending time with your family. It might be cuddling with your dog. I don't know. If you need help, I can help virtually. Pursuitofseattle.com. You can also reach out to me personally at Seattle Sondra on Twitter and Instagram. And I love learning what people do that makes themselves happy. I think that's why we're here. We're here to make ourselves happy and the people around us happy. So come reach out to me, please.
Woohoo! Brittney, go ahead.
Awesome. Well, I specialize in a couple different areas of assisting people. I help people lose tremendous amounts of weight, understand what they're buying at the grocery store, how to shop properly. I mean, Zeth talked about that a little bit, but really what's in our foods, what not to buy. Nutritional cleansing is a huge thing for overall health, mindset shifts, and just overall lifestyle empowerment is really my niche in the market. And I coach people all over the United States, all over the world. So you can connect with me on my website. It's brittneycara.com. If you go on the website, you can sign up for my free ebook download. It's called Messages from Your Body. It's 10 little tips from your body to you that you might have never thought about before. We talked about your body speaking to you, so I speak about that in that book. And you can also purchase my book, The Silent Scandal, Stop the Toxic Attack on Our Bodies, on my website and also on Amazon.com. And it is a complete guidebook to walk you through what is really killing us as a nation right now in terms of our food, our toxicity, our mindset, all of that. And I wanted to make it very basic for a person just starting on a health journey to know where to start and what to change first and to not be overwhelmed. So I look forward to connecting with you. I'm also on Facebook, facebook.com/BrittneyCara, and I look forward to answering any questions that you might have regarding your health or lifestyle choices. Thank you for having me on, ladies.
Thank you so much. Woohoo! So for every one of you who wants to know where you can watch Creative Chat Cafe, so here's the website where you can watch. It's entrepreneurs@soar.com, and we actually have a tab that says web shows. There's a web show, there's a tab that says Creative Chat Cafe. You can watch all our previous episodes on our blog posts in that tab. And just for more information, you can watch Creative Chat Cafe on Wednesdays, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And every first Wednesday of the month is a live broadcast where we have a full cast on the show. So, I wanted to also share information about our social pages. You can actually hashtag us Creative Chat Cafe. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and our second hashtag is hashtag CCC Time to Hang Out. So this is our, so Sondra, we have more information on social, yes?
Well, you can join us on Google+. I mean, we're all hanging out there. So that's another one. But really, we really do encourage people to interact with us, especially during our live show. I mean, I know that our viewers out there have their own opinions, their own contributions. So go ahead and hashtag. We'll find you. You'll find us. Let's make this a global thing. I mean, again, let's bring up the point that no matter what your problem is, no matter what your idea is, you're not alone. So let's go on.
Woohoo! So, and we also are, our show is actually produced by Entrepreneurs That Soar, so you can find our shows on Entrepreneurs That Soar YouTube channel, and that's the page right there you're looking on the screen. And, just like Sondra said, get connected with us and catch up with our shows 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time every Wednesday. So before we go, this has been a great part 2 of our health series for February. Thank you, Brittney, for joining us. Woohoo! Thank you, Sondra. Looking forward to next week's show on Creative Chat Cafe. Until then, ladies, have a great day. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.